Hello, miners and minions. My name is TB Skyn, and welcome back to the boss designs of Elden Ring, where, after only 50 hours into this game of playing it, Future Skyn has informed me that actually he doesn't need me to do these intros anymore. Or he might not. Maybe he won't. But I'm going to do them anyway, because screw that guy. But it's just because of the way that he's decided to edit things, where apparently he's just going to interrupt me out of nowhere, that fucking crap. But anyway, we're here now. There's a bunch of these things, and we're pretty close to the Erd Tree, which I think is... I mean, I don't imagine that we're in the end game yet, but I think it's relatively close to where the end game probably is. And I already feel like I haven't even been able to explore Caelid yet, because everything there is evil and it wants me dead, and kills me really quickly. So I think that rather than go and explore here, let's go back and check on some of the areas where we haven't explored so much, because there's an Everjail up there. I think we beat that one already. I think so, yeah. But there's also all the stuff over here, where I have to imagine that something's there. And the first thing I want to do is I want to try and go and get that map. Don't know if I can do that directly from up here, though.
I am immediately sidetracked by jellyfish.
Hello, jellyfish. I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise in my off time, and it's messing with my controls. I keep thinking that the buttons do something other than they do. Huh. Okay, Sage's Cave. Some magic going on in here, I bet. Oh! And there wasn't even a message telling me to do it. To be fair, it's pretty obvious. So is that a signal that there will be more of them down here? More secret walls to bash in? Right. Well, that kind of seems like it might be difficult to get back out. Okay. Oh, come on! Okay, like... Hang on. Come on! It's right there! Okay. Alright. Okay, Elden Ring is f***ing with me. It's f***ing with me. There we go. Right, okay. So it was signaling that there will be more of them. Fair enough. Lost Ashes of War? Neato? If one of these chests turns out to be a mimic... I don't think there are mimics in this game. I don't think there are. But I'm also not confident that there aren't. Candle Tree Wooden Shield. Be wary of hole, yes. Okay. And what's the trap? No trap, but definitely a boss. Raptor... Wait a minute! Wait a minute! I'm wearing that. I don't care if it's not great armor. Skeleton mask? That sounds badass. This ritual implement relentlessly digs into the wearer's face, preserving one's human instincts while dressed in imitation of the death birds. See, now, now I really want to go with a dex build, just to honor... Oh, 2 ways into the boss fight, are there? I bet the one over here then will let me start with a jumping attack, and that's the point of it. A hunter must hunt. Okay, let's see. Oh, or not. Sup? Oh, he hits pretty... Oh, Jesus! Is that bone wheels? Oh, good. He calls spirits. And I can't. Well, that's annoying. Okay, what the dick is that? Oh, okay. I kind of want to go see the other boss fight now, but yeah, let's just finish him first. Okay. Sup? Nope. 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 Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, he's gonna call his skeletons now. Yeah, there they are. So they're not spirit summons so much as they're just... Oh, his dodge timing is actually kind of bad for... he has more. Or it just gets back up if you don't kill it properly. That's probably more like it. Oh, son of a... Okay, I thought I could get close to him and then get away from the... skulls. Okay, do your thing with the skeletons. There we go. Very tired of your bull... Yeah, he has more than one. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. Let's just finish him off. There we go. Okay, and now your little things. Oh, or not. Family heads, that would be his weapon. 3 bludgeoning copper heads attached to a handle by chains. Signature weapon of Necromancer Garrus, the heretical sage. The heads were made to resemble those of his wife and 2 children. Okay! Cool. Cool, dude. That's great. Now, there probably isn't that much to Garrus in the grand scheme of things. He's an optional boss in an optional area that's just not particularly connected to anything or anyone else of note, at least not that I've discovered so far. What makes Garrus interesting is mostly how he interacts with and reinforces the themes that we've already discussed a lot, which is death and grieving and how it is handled. But I do want to try and offer some analysis, so in the absence of a lot of hard facts about Garrus, I'm gonna make some inferences and assumptions. The flail, for example, refers to him as a heretic sage. So, a heretic against what? Well, presumably against the Golden Order, since a lot of the item descriptions are kind of written from the Order's perspective, and that would just make sense. Heretical how, then? Well, presumably by his necromancy. It's like the main thing about him, right? Which leaves us with the question of heretical why? Why does the Golden Order forbid necromancy? Why is that a heresy? We know from D that those who live in death, i.e. necromancers and the risen dead, are marked for destruction under the Golden Order, so those who dabble in revivalism and the raising of the dead are clearly a threat to Golden Order orthodoxy. Which makes sense given how jealously the Golden Order guards its monopoly on corpses and the bodies of the dead. It uses them as food for the Erd Tree, yes, but also the Golden Order seems to be founded at least in part on control over the cycle of death and rebirth. People die, their spirits enter the Erd Tree, and thus recirculate to be born anew by the Erd Tree's grace. A human necromancer deciding that, no, actually, I think I'll be taking care of that myself, thank you very much, that is a political threat, and an ideological and theological one. When the Golden Order calls the tarnished up from their graves, that is a sacred act of mercy. When Garrus does it, it's a perversion and a threat to all that is good and golden. Now, the flail says in its Ash of War description that the ability summons vengeful spirits, that the anguish of a spouse and children invites accursed wrath. Spirits that die peacefully of natural causes generally are neither anguished nor vengeful. So again, the assumption I make from this is that Garrus's family died in some kind of violent or painful way. And there's kind of two ways you can interpret that, I think. Either Garrus's family were the victim of some crime or abuse. At an extreme, perhaps they were executed for his heresy? Or else there's a darker option that Garrus killed them himself as part of his heretical research driven by some mad and violent obsession, and we don't really get to know which is which on this one. On the one hand, the flail clearly seems to be some kind of memento of his family, and a tool by which he can still summon their spirits into the world to be with him. On the other hand, he turned them into a weapon to kill other people with, which, you know, that's kind of a f***ed up thing to do to your wife and children, all things considered. Of course, if Garrus's mission is vengeance for their deaths, then it does make a poetic sort of sense to dispense that vengeance with an effigy of those who were wronged. A thing I note that's interesting is that Garrus himself looks pretty rough. He's dirty, disheveled, hiding in a grimy cave with skeleton snails and all that. But the flail is beautiful. It's not just a stick with some chains bolted onto it. This thing is a fine and gilded work of craftsmanship. It has an engraved handle and a sigil with 2 rampant lions and a red gem up at the head. Is that Garrus's family crest there, I wonder? Because if it is, I can't help but notice that there's no sign anywhere of tree imagery. Save for the tarnished bronze death mask heads attached to it by chains, this flail looks like the weapon of a very rich man, and so it seems that Garrus has fallen far indeed, and given up quite a lot to pursue his vengeance. Okay. So who's down here? Is that gonna be his wife and child? Oh, please tell me it's not. Dog required ahead. Dog required. Summon wolves? Oh, it's because bones. It's gonna be skeletons. He's invisible. But I see you. Ah! F you! Oleg, could you help me out here, buddy? I'm about to die. Yeah, he can see him. Come on! There we go. There we okay, so that's why it says dog. Because if you summon... Thanks, buddy. If you summon, they can always tell where the enemy is. Nice. Yeah, no, I don't care. I'm not fighting that fairly. Cough. Okay, these guys seem angry for some reason. Jellyfish. Yeah, okay. I like my jellyfish friends too much. I don't want to fight them. If you could just chill out for a second. I guess they were mad because... The head of a spirit jellyfish commonly found floating above sacred ground throughout the lands between. Wielded without modification as a shield. The see-through head is extremely light, but its flesh is supple, providing absolutely no protection from piercing attacks. Unique skill, Contagious Fury. Incite the jellyfish's wrath and allow its fury to flow through you. The wrath of the jellyfish increases attack power. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then I found another thing. Can't remember what it was. Probably wasn't important. I say, prompting 500 people to comment that it was definitely important and I should look at it. Which is okay. Like, tell me if I missed some imports going on over there. Hi. You are... You're a spirit. And you're a giant, but you're wearing clothes? Well, that's unusual. Oh, you seem to have lost your head there, buddy. Little concerned about how you are still moving around. I guess magic spirit can do what it wants? Okay, Okay, so, there's more of them. Of course there is. The 4 belfries. Ooh. Teleport gate not activated. Imbued sword key? I don't have that. Excuse me. Oh no. Oh, he casts magic. Oh, don't like that. Leave me alone. I'm out of aggro range. Fuck off. Oh, there's one. Okay, I want to check its item description, but I just want to be sure that guy isn't coming for me first. Unseals sending gate, but disappears upon use. Breaks the seals on the imp statues guarding the sending gates enshrined in each belfry, but remains embedded in the statue after use, meaning it can only be used once. Okay. Well, alright. Could I get a clue about where these things are gonna send me? Tree, person. Is there some kind of clue in the carvings, maybe? Hopefully you can get a hold of more of these. Precipice of anticipation. Seems familiar. Praise the fingers, therefore be wary of teacher. Okay, precipice of anticipation. That'll be where that goes. I remember the chapel of anticipation is where we started the game. That's where we spawned. Night sky unceasing. Crumbling lens. That would be Caelid, right? Like, surely that would be Caelid. One assumes. Okay. Don't... Oh, man. I'm so curious about all of these. Like, especially the Precipice of Anticipation. Because that kind of seems like it would send me back to where I started. And I wouldn't mind an opportunity to kick that goddamn grafted Scion's ass, but... Okay, not gonna mess with it until I have at least 2 keys. Or until I have a clue about where I might want to go. Yep, hello, hi. Pop goes the weasel. Scooping him up. Yeah, that's the cuckoo, the symbol of Lucaria. Smithing stone, good. Albinoric blood clot. This is a crafting item. Life forms made by human hands. Ooh. Thus, many believe them to live impure lives, untouched by aired trees' grace. That reminds me, that flower I picked up. Yeah. A delicate water lily of unalloyed gold that has started to fade and wilt. A flower signifying faith in the Halic tree, thought to be beloved by the Empyrean Miquella in his youth. Map of Leorinia West. Thank you. Sweet. So, what's around here for an adventuring person to find? Oh, hey. Hello. Eiji, forgive me. These okay, yep. Okay, I can't fight while you're talking to me. Forgive me. These royal grounds were placed in our trust, but we stood no chance. So, some kind of battle then. This isn't just decay, this is destruction. What? Okay. Landmines! Alright. What do we have here? By the way, that's sword. Okay, all right. What? Hey, could you tell me what the dick?
Well, look at you. We don't receive many visitors. I presume you are tarnished? What brings you here? Oh, pardon me. It's hardly my place to ask, is it? I am E.G.
Oh, hey.
A blacksmith who once served the Carian royals. An old codger who refuses to retire his rusty hammer. So here I am, still quietly plying my trade on this spot. Perhaps you'd like a display? These bones are old, but still able.
Ooh, cool. Somber smithing stones. Oh, nice. And you can get infinite numbers of the smaller ones. Oh, that's good.
Oh, watch out there. When I'm absorbed in my smithing, I lose sight of all else. If you come too close, I'm apt to cause you harm. I am, after all, terribly large compared to you, Tarnished. You don't know how hard it is not to break anything while I work. Brave Tarnished. A word of warning, if you please. This territory once belonged to the Carian royal family. Their manor lies not far beyond this point. When the Raya Lucaria Academy turned on the Carians, the Knights of the Cuckoo descended on this tract. After leveling it, they carried on to the manor. The Carians were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the Knights' onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day. That is why I say, Tarnished, don't go near the manor, unless you wish to lie with the corpses of the heedless Knights of the Cuckoo. Blythe actually did that, did he? Quite a rare occurrence for such a guarded soul as he. Perhaps he sensed something unusual about you. At any rate, if you're friendly with Blythe, I've something else that might suit you. I've explained the peril of the enchanted snare that remains at the Royal Carian Manor. Whatever you do, brave Tarnished, stay away from that death trap. I've explained the peril of the enchanted snare.
I mean, you tell me that, and then, like, obviously I have to go... Ooh. Yes, I'll take that. Lowers FP consumed by skills. That's not too bad. I don't use a lot of skills with this weapon, admittedly, but that's a good thing to have in your back pocket. Okay. Usually with ruins, there's gonna be like a cellar or a tomb or something. But I guess this is just meant to be like ruins that you encounter. Wait, hang on, what? How the hell did I miss that? Try horseback battle. Wait, what? Can I ride my horse in there? Try healing. Good advice. Oh! Oh shit, I can! Oh, it's one of you! It's one of these little shits. That explains why you can horse ride. Okay, that's weird that you can summon your horse down here. Son of a bitch. Frozen needle. A razor-thin, piercing blade of ice forged by E.G. Oh, hey! Can inflict frost upon enemies and launch its blade with a strong attack. the blade immediately regenerates. Cool, and that's a dex... Oh, it's only... I thought it would be an intellect weapon. Cool, dexterity weapon. Okay. Like, I know you said to not, but because you said not to, I'm gonna. Just increase my magic defense a little bit. Sticking close to the walls just does seem to provide some protection. What the hell? Okay, when that happens, that's usually because I'm about to be invaded. Or because I ran into some kind of boundary, I guess. Oh, it's because that's why Torrent disappeared. You can't ride in here. Okay. Be wary of vigilance, then be wary of... Okay, so that means invasion. Fingers, right? Or not? Oh! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, I don't like that! Oh, no! Oh, I hate this! Oh, they're like spiders, but worse! They're literally just giving you the finger. Oh my god, these little s***s. But they don't like being attacked from behind, I see. Oh god! Oh, f you. Oh, f that. Oh, f this. Oh my god. Were they just sitting on the wall of their own? No. They're like, oh god. It's like Legend of Zelda Wall Masters, but infinitely worse because there's too many fingers on them. Oh god, that's gross.
Hello.
Me. I don't like this place. I don't like this. Oh, I don't. Oh, no. Oh, hey, hi, how you doing? Hello. Yeah, with the squirming and the wiggling. Blah, blah, blah. I can hear them. They're down there. You. I hate this. Yeah, stop pointing at me. You can see me, you sh-
Let's go.
What are you doing? What are they doing? I have to imagine that torch is important somehow. And maybe I should try and get to it, but... Or maybe the torch isn't important. Maybe there's a whole bunch of them. Okay, cool. No one cares about the torches. Got it. Yeah, your torches. What are you gonna do about that? Oh, I see you. I see you. Oh, I see you. I see you plain as day. You ain't slick. Okay, I'm just gonna not. I don't... Whatever's behind there, it's not worth dealing with that hand laying a trap in the ground. Okay, well, I hate this so much. Nope, I'm not here. I don't exist. I'm not real. It was just the wind. Fuck off. Oh, screw you all. Screw this place. Screw you. I hate this because I'm really kind of scared to explore here. We just go slow. Yeah, no. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm completely f***ed. I'm completely f***ed. Okay. Excuse me. Bye. Cough. Lady Ranni, we have long awaited you. I pray for your house's swift revival. May the full moon shine upon Caria. Lady Ranni. Seek Tower. That tower? Okay. Seek Tower. Good to know. There grace in here? Yes, good. Hey, same weapon. Whew, okay. At least the hands can't climb the walls. They can only fall down from them. Right? Oh, hello! Okay, about as powerful as the normal ones. That's something. They're blue, though. Try jump. Oh. Oh, there's actually a point to that. Oh, there might actually be something there. Okay. You seem to turn up in the weirdest places. It's like playing whack-a-mole. Right, so where was that place with the jumping? With the jumping and the falling and the frying? Whee! Ow! I'm totally cool. Oop. What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. No, down. Hey, he's got the same outfit as me. Dodge! No? Okay. Sword of Night and... okay, that sounds cool. It's a dexterity, intelligence, and faith? That's like Artorias' great sword levels of multi-stat. Storied sword and treasure of Caria Manor, one of the legendary armaments. Astrologers who preceded the sorcerers established themselves in the mountain tops that nearly touched the sky, and considered the fire giants their neighbors. Unique skill, Night and Flame stance. Hold the sword level and prepare to cast a sorcery. Follow up with a normal attack to cast the Night Comet sorcery, or a strong attack to sweep forward with a burst of flames. Okay, that sounds too cool not to try at least once. Hi. I guess these are more magical protections for the manor, akin to the... to the rain of magic that protected it. Okay, if there's a boss here, I feel like it'll be somewhere around here. This feels like the right place to go to find it. Ooh. A grace! Good. Those are not normal wolves. In fact, they remind me kind of a lot of... hang on a sec. That looks a lot like a smaller version of the... ow. Yeah. That looks rather like a smaller and less maned version of the Red Wolf of Radahn. Oh, no, it saw me. And then it lost sight of me. Fatal mistake, my friend. Uh-oh. Nope. Yeah, that's the same animation. Like, that's completely the same animation as the Red Wolf of Radahn. Interesting. So I wonder if that's intentional. Could just be asset reuse, after all. Oh, you're not a ghost. Oh, you're all... okay. I think I see a ladder over there, so, with a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. Yeah, this is more my speed. I'm invisible. A shadow. Unseen. Well, except by him, but... oh, cool little sword you got there, buddy. Uh-huh. So that is someone like E.G. But, yeah, hostile. Super hostile. I'm not here. You didn't hear that. Clearly you didn't hear that. Should have heard it, but... didn't. Whoa! Much prefer if you didn't. Oh, no. Oh, that's a boss. That's a boss. There's a boss there. Okay, whatever this is, it's gonna be big. And given the location, it's probably gonna do magic damage. Just taking a guess. Hi. Oh, come on! I can't summon Torrent! Oh, this is unfair. At least I do decent damage. That's something. I'm better with the damn weapon I've got. Whoop. Okay. Do you have a second? Ow. Taking all three of those might kill me. Okay, tell me you don't have a phase 2, please. I would hate that. Okay, do your thing. Get hit. Oh no, you have a phase 2. Oh, even more swords. Oh god! Oy, Jesus. Uh-oh. Might be dead. Might be dead. Might be dead. Okay, I'm alive. I live. You die! No. Missed the input on the jump attack. Somehow. Knows how. There we go. Whew. Okay. Jesus. Okay, that could have been worse. Not sure how, but it could have. Loretta's Slash. Skill of Loretta the Royal Knight. Okay, no further information about her there. Creates a magic great bow and fires a great arrow. It is said that the bow was Loretta's favorite weapon. Okay, very little information about Miss Loretta there. Feels somewhat impoverished with knowledge. Although... I mean, this is a fairly... So this would be the court of the Royal Knights, I guess? Like it's a Knights of the Round Table kind of situation? And she would once have belonged to an order of them or some such thing? Hell if I know. Fortuitously, that's not my problem. Now, I would throw the Future Sky in, but since that dick has apparently just decided to interrupt me at random... I didn't expect to have much to say about Loretta, and... I was kind of right about that. Her design might hint at a bunch of interesting things, but answers are pretty thin on the ground. She's a spirit, as we encounter her, obviously, so she isn't here in the flesh, and like the conjuration of Rennala in Raya Lucaria, she might be the spirit of someone who's dead, or maybe just a preserved copy of someone who's still alive somewhere. We can't really know. Design-wise, there are a few things we can get from Loretta, though. For one thing, she looks expensive. From the complex barding and armor of her horse to her long, fine lance, complex chest armor, engraved and shapely shield, and especially that sigil helmet with its elaborate decorations, this is the armor of someone who's either wealthy themselves or in service to someone or something with the wealth to kit them out. That would be the Carian royals, I assume, but clearly there is an intent here for this knight to not merely be powerful, but to be beautiful, to be intimidating, a demonstration of wealth and force by mere appearance. This is typical for knights in the real world, and certainly it's also typical of the ones in Elden Ring. The tree sentinels are much the same way, for example, and of course, looking big and powerful and intimidating is also just good boss design. It makes the achievement feel greater when you defeat them. Interestingly, though, Loretta's helmet is a bit odd. Initially, I thought that, this is Erd Tree imagery, because that's certainly what it looked like from a distance, but up close, no, it's kind of not. And here's where comparison with the tree sentinels is useful, because where they wear the branches and canopy of a tree on their helmets, Loretta doesn't really seem to. Looking at the engraved disc here, there's no foliage anywhere, which implies to me that these are not tree branches, not the canopy of a tree, but the roots of one, which, I'm not really sure what, if anything, that means, but it is interesting that she, as a Carian knight, has tree imagery in her design at all, and more interesting still that it seems to diverge from how the Golden Order decorates its knights. And that might help make a little bit of sense of her shield, actually, because the first time I looked closely at this shield, I was like, this looks Yonic, like with the vertical almond shape and the gently folding curves and the nubbin at the top. I wasn't 100% sure what to make of it for a second, but it also kind of looks like a sprouting seed, or, and this was my immediate second association, it kind of looks like a closed Titan Aurum, or some similar flower with a high stem. So if Loretta's imagery does not worship or depict the Erd Tree, perhaps she has a connection with some other kind of plant, or a flower even, a flower which has yet to put down roots, going by the helmet, or some kind of plant that has yet to fully grow and bloom, something along those lines. I don't think we've really run into any other characters who have like a sprouting seed or a closed flower theming like this, at least not yet, so I'm not really sure what, if anything, to connect Loretta to. Game development being game development, it's not impossible that they made Loretta for some other faction that got cut from the game and just decided to recycle her for a boss fight. I could be looking too deeply into it. I only bring it up because despite clearly being a Carian royal knight, she's not wearing either the cuckoo of Raya Lucaria or the sigil of the Carian royal family anywhere on her that I can see, and nobody else in the general Carian fashion aesthetic has this flower and plant imagery going on. It feels like that should mean something, but with how little we know about Loretta, I don't know what it could possibly be. So instead, let's turn our attention from the boss to its arena, because that is kind of interesting. The Arthurian concept of the round table is obviously in full force in Elden Ring, with the round table hold being the most painfully obvious manifestation of the concept. But then it's also here, with the Carians, a row of seats arranged as equals, all joined around a circle, and as we discussed with the Dragonkin soldier, it too seems to reference this idea. Despite being from very different factions, even opposing factions in the case of the Carians and the Golden Order, it's almost as though any time a group of people in the Lands Between decide to form an order or a knighthood or unite around some kind of ideal, they are compelled to do it around some kind of a ring. Three sisters. Oh, that was just a deer. I feel kind of bad about that. I thought it was an enemy. Okay. I can summon Torrent. Okay, thank God. Oh, that's a dragon. That's a dragon. There's a dragon right there. That's a dragon that's right there. Okay, dragon over there. Let's not go that way. Let's go a different way. Let's go away where there aren't dragons. Let's go this way. There's no dragons up there, so that's good. Magic door in the way, though. That's a little annoying. Is that like a mist I can traverse, or locked shut from now? Renna's Rise. Renna. That's what Blue Hair Lady McForearms introduced herself as. Huh. Okay, so dragon over there. Just over there. Doing its own thing. Not even bothering about me. We are cool, the dragon and I. We have an understanding, which is that I stay the hell away from him and he doesn't kill me. I hope. Whoop. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. Everything is cool. Everything is cool. Shh. I'm not here. Ranni's. Ranni and Ranni. Okay. So sisters, yeah. And this one's open. Didn't expect rump. Let there be sage, but be wary of pathetic sort. No joy ahead. It's not going to be a boss fight on the top of this, is there? Could this be research material? Yeah. It would be. Like, this is clearly a scholar's tower. And some sort of magical research has been happening. Lover ahead. Well, up we go. Bridge ahead, try running. Yeah, I think he got a few people with that one since it's got so many good appraisals. Oh, hey! Oh, okay, okay. Try fingers. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hi. If you'll just... I could just... See, she's a doll. You can see the joints between her hands. The cracks in the neck. The face. That's why she looks like that. She's a doll. Oh, hey. And her feet are made of... tangled wire? Hang on. Hang on. No! Not the thing I wanted to use. Yeah. Like her feet are made of like tangled rope or wire or something. Yeah. She's a doll. And God help me, but just the double face thing? That's just... God, this is a good character design, though. Like, my good gracious goodness. This is a good character design. What's she sitting on? A box? She's sitting on a box? Okay. Hi.
Oh. Again we cross paths. I believe I said my name was Renna when last we met. It pleaseth me to see Torrent hale and hearty, but tarnished. What business hast thou here? I have no memory of inking thee an invitation.
No particular reason, yeah.
No reason in particular, thou claimest. Intriguing. Then mayhaps fate hath steered thee to this reunion. Wilt thou enter into my service? I am the witch Ranni. I stole death long ago, and search now for the dark path. that I might one day upend the whole of it, and rid the world of all that came before. Well, has that roused thy interest?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that does sound interesting. Are we picking endings here? Presumably not. Like, presumably you'll be able to make a decision by the very end. But this feels a lot like Cath Darkstalker a little bit. Okay. But no, I'm on board. I'm on board with this.
I see. A choice well made. Thou art a rare sword. Not many would have accepted the offer, but I require as much of those under my command. I anticipate good work from thee. Good. Then I ask we proceed with haste. There is, in my service, a half-wolven warrior.
Oh.
By the name of Blythe. I would have thee join him in searching for the hidden treasure of Nokron, the Eternal City. I have called for Blythe to greet thee below. Take from him the particulars. Ah, and there wilt thou find Iji, my war counselor, and Salavis, preceptor in the sorcerous arts also. Heed not their peculiarities. Feel secure in gaining from them what advantage thou canst. I am sure the others will be doing just the same. Speak with the three who await thee below. Thou needst not indulge them unduly, but they too wish to appraise thy worth. It hath been a passing long time since a newcomer entered my service after all. Speak with the three who await thee below.
Okay. Blythe. Well, we've met him before, so that's cool. Oh, hey. How you doing?
Oh, so you were the one. Lady Ranni has explained everything. Again, I am Iji, the Carian royal family's dedicated blacksmith and Lady Ranni's war counselor. I'm told that you are searching for Nokron with Blythe. I will give you whatever guidance I can and pray for your success. My apologies for the misleading words of warning. I never imagined that an audience, let alone service to Lady Ranni, was in your fate. I, for one, should have seen it, but I did not. Do forgive me, my fellow. Let us give all that we can of ourselves, together, for Lady Ranni. Let us give all that we can of ourselves.
Okay, yeah, got it. Hey, Blythe. She just summons you as a spirit. Cool.
Long time, friend. Blythe. Have you forgotten? Glad to have you in the service of Mistress Ranni. Well, getting right to business. I'm still in Limgrave. The eternal city of Nokron lies somewhere at the bottom of this land. I'm planning to go below through the well in the Mistwood. See if I can't find the road to Nokron from there.
I've been down there. Doesn't seem like there was one, but, you know.
I'm going below through the well in the Mistwood. See if I can't find the road to Nokron.
Okay, then. And the last one.
I see. You must be Ranni's new hireling. Yes, I've heard all about you. I am Salavis, preceptor in the sorcerous arts. I don't know what it is the mistress sees in a provincial tarnished like you, but since we have the misfortune of serving the same lady, I ask that you kindly try not to drag us all down with you.
Well, he seems fun.
I reside in another tower close by. Come and pay me a visit. Should you wish to be of actual service to Mistress Ranni. If it were up to me, I wouldn't waste my time on the likes of you. But who am I to stand against the wishes of my lady?
Who are you indeed?
I reside in...
Yeah, shut the f*** up.
Allow me to forewarn thee. I shall soon enter my slumber, and it will be some time before I wake. This doll's body is not without its hindrances. Still, I have high hopes for thee. I look forward to the good news when I arise. Hopes for thee.
Right, so she is explicitly confirming that her body is a doll's body, which explains, like, which makes sense with the ghost face that hovers next to it. So clearly that's her spirit is possessing that doll for some reason. She said that she stole death. Can I leave now? I'd like to leave now. Yay, I can go. Hooray. So is he down there? Well, this one's open at least. There he is. 3 sisters. Well, he's clearly not one of the... Well, probably not one of the sisters, anyway.
Well, you took me at my word. Did you not realize I was merely being polite? Oh, you provincials never cease to amaze. I suppose you're here now. Perhaps I'll give you something to do. I'd like you to find a woman called Nefeli to administer a potion. Even you can do that much, can't you?
Nefeli?
Good. Now I shall hand over the potion in question. Find Nefeli and ensure she drinks it. I expect glad tidings, and soon.
Potion. Huh? For Nefelis, huh? I don't like this.
I've no time for idle chit-chat. The only thing I will hear from you is a report of your task's completion. Are we understood? Then off you trot. I have enough on my plate.
I like his hat. Like, it's cool that the hat has the little astrological charts in them. That's neat. And everything else about him I do not like. He's clearly, like, he's very much designed to be disliked on sight. Clearly. Like, not a lot of ambiguity about that. So can we steal something from him? That would be nice. And I am not so sure about that potion. I'll take your shit. A memory stone, thank you. Another spell slot for me. And screw you, buddy. Also, it's kind of pathetic how obvious his lie is. Because, like he says, like, come see me at my tower if you wish to be of use. And then he's like, oh, why did you come to my tower? Anyway, I do have a task for you. Like... That's a little pathetic. It's like, that's some insecure, like, art of the deal... businessman power move bullshit, like trying to neg us or something. That's a crystal dragon too. That's like a crystal tail. I don't suppose this tower is opened up. No. Okay, well. You want me to fight Nefeli, do you? There will be more things to say about Ranni and her crew before this playthrough is done, and I was considering putting off doing any analysis of them for later, but I think it might be worth doing some initial impressions just based on their character designs, because I'm already kind of seeing a pattern with these characters. And we'll start with E.g., because we've seen a couple of other troll knights who are quite like him. First, there's the one outside of Loretta's boss arena that I just snuck past. It wears the same blue Carian cloak, and like E.g., it also wears a helmet. And then there's the ghostly troll spirits by the 4 belfries, who also seem to wear the same uniform of the Carian troll knights, just, you know, without their heads. And it's kind of the head I want to focus on here. E.g. is a blacksmith rather than a fighting knight, at least what we've seen of him so far, but that change in profession doesn't really seem to justify the weird headgear that he's chosen to wear. As near as I can tell, he wears a helmet made entirely of mirrors. Now, stepping back a bit, we know that being turned into a headless spirit in Elden Ring is a kind of act of ultimate devotion, a voluntary suicide that allows you to remain in service to a lord forever as a bound protector, and that explains the trolls by the belfries. The knight outside Loretta's arena, meanwhile, who still has his head, also has his own quite elaborate helmet, actually, and I must assume that he has the same abilities as the headless ghosts, which is to say, he can probably cast spells, and those spells must have been taught to him by the Carians to educate him for his duties. Compare and contrast that with the trolls that we see in most of the other places in Elden Ring. First of all, they're unclothed, which means even if they are in the service to a lord, like the one in Stormvale up by Godric, nobody bothers to decorate them or give them a uniform. Nobody is bothering to include them in the aesthetics of their faction. Multiple times we see them used as little more than beasts of burden, chained to wagons with spikes through their chests and forced to pull them. The Carians, by contrast, seem to treat their trolls with at least somewhat more respect and care, and the trolls in turn seem to have taken their service to the Carian royal family seriously enough that some of them have become headless guardian spirits for them for eternity. All of this is to say, E.g. comes across in his speech almost like a sort of devoted grandfatherly figure to Ranni, war counselor. It places him in the role of an older mentor figure, the kind of character who is at once extended family and someone who will sacrifice himself for his young charge's vision or dream or destiny or whatever. My point being, it's a kind of archetype that generally has some intimacy with the person that they are devoted to, and that's a little bit of a sea change from how every other faction seems to treat their trolls. It's interesting. But it also makes me wonder, why is he wearing a mirrored helmet? Mirrors aren't really a symbol of Ranni or some sign of devotion to her cause that I can see, and the semiotics of a helmet, a mask actually, of mirrors is interesting, because that's the kind of headgear you would wear to turn attention away from yourself, to literally reflect it. It's very, don't look at me. It's headgear that feels like it's meant to hide the wearer in some very specific ritual sort of way. And that could be a class thing, like, oh, peasants do not deserve to look upon me, give me my mirror helmet. But that doesn't really feel like E.g. Like, he doesn't seem like that kind of a character. The other thing about a helmet made of mirrors, though, is that it kind of feels like it would be associated with, like, shame, essentially. He wears mirrors on his head and turns them away from himself, and that really has the vibe of, not only do I not want to look other people in the eye, I don't want to look myself in the eye. I don't want to see my own reflection. I don't want to self-reflect because it's painful. It's an odd choice for a character design, and I only really bring it up because the helmet seems, as far as I can tell, to be specifically unique to him, right? Like, none of the other trolls have anything like it, neither do any of the other characters we've encountered in the game. It feels like a choice that must say something about his character in some way, but I'm not 100% sure what. But like I said, there is a pattern here, so let's move on to Celavis. Now, obviously, I'm a little further ahead in the game than past Skyen is, so I know some of what's to come with this man, and we will speak of the details of that later, but for now, let's just focus on his design. Although, props to the voice actor first for making him so instantly and completely unlikable. Like, what a perfect asshole performance from them. It's such a telling thing about his character that the literal first thing he does is lie to you with the intent of humiliating you. He wasn't just being polite when he told you to come to him. He did want a favor, but he wants to establish himself as the superior in the relationship. He wants it to be so that you are doing a favor for him in order to make up for your unforgivable mistake of not picking up on his high-class, refined social cues. It's cartoonish, but it's not unrealistic behavior. Like, I've met people who do like that. Anyway, the character design. So, the big major thing that stands out about Celavis immediately is, obviously, the Big Hat, which, I mean, first of all, I'm a Dark Souls 1 dip, so in the same way that I can't help but wonder if the Dung Eater wearing the sun on his chest is meant to be some kind of subversion or reflection or inversion of Solaire, I can't help but wonder if the Big Wizard hat here means that Celavis is in some way reflecting or riffing on Big Hat Logan. Guess we'll see. Besides that, though, the hat is interesting because it has a planetary chart on the inside. And I'm no astronomer, but looking at it, my first impression was that, hey, this looks geocentric to me. Certainly the bodies whose courses are being tracked are all decorated so as to look like stars, and all of them are in a concentric orbit around a single center point. I asked around on social media, and Marker, Caretaker's Mark on Blue Sky, even sent me some examples of similar-looking old astronomical diagrams which confirm my suspicion that these errant lines swooping in from the sides are chartings of comets or meteors, which also seems to indicate that here, perhaps, there was some kind of collision in the sky, which, I don't know if that matters at all, it's just interesting as a piece of world building. Anyway, the point of this is that Celavis wears a geocentric model on his head that places him at the center of the universe, which, you know, if you want to design a character who's a little bit full of himself, maybe has an inflated sense of self-regard, this is not so much being on the nose as it is landing a haymaker. Hello, I'm Johnny Asshole, and here's my hat that makes me the center of the world! Now, of course, maybe other characters will wear that same hat in Elden Ring. It might just be part of the uniform of a preceptor of Caria, which I believe that's a kind of teacher or professor. So it might not be that the hat is specifically designed to express Celavis's arrogance, but I would argue that whether or not the hat itself is meant to be a mark of arrogance within the context of Celavis's design, I still think it serves that function. And I feel similarly about his mask, especially with how the mouth is rendered, because number one, that is a wide open ass mouth. That is a mouth which is doing the opposite of shutting up. It is speaking, and it is speaking loudly. But then also, there's this grid of overlaying lines across it. In the design, these are the tails of stars or comets, so it's continuing the astronomical theme, but I note two things about this. First is that that pattern is the same one as we see here in the Elden Ring logo, and interestingly, also in the Jesus statues of Radagon, where it forms the scaffolding behind him. The fact that this pattern is present in those two places in the game says to me that it must mean something. Again, I'm not 100% sure what, or what it would have to do with Celavis, so for now I'm just noting that the pattern is present so I can look out for it. The other thing about it, though, is that it makes it so that Celavis is literally speaking through a filter. He's speaking from behind a fence, or a barrier that puts distance between you and him. And again, if the goal is to create a character who seems manipulative, then this is fairly on the nose, as visual symbols go. All of this is to say that Celavis is a really good character design for the kind of piece of shit he's gonna turn out to be. Blaidd is also a very good character design, I think, but for very different reasons. And I say I think because how good of a design he's going to turn out to be depends somewhat on how, the story actually plays out. He's a half-wolf, having a humanoid body and anatomy, but covered all over in wolf fur and with a wolf's head, at least that we can see. We only really get access to his face. We don't know what he looks like under there, although if you Google him with Safe Search off, you can find a lot of fan art that's very willing to speculate. The only visual clues to his halfness that we can see on him are the patchy bits of naked skin and thin fur here and there, and the difference between his eyes. On the more human side, his eye is narrower and shaped quite notably differently from the one on his more wolf-like side. So, while he isn't technically a werewolf as far as I'm aware, his design is definitely playing with werewolf imagery, and that has some neat effects. Blaidd has been shown to be loyal, polite, friendly, concerned with honor, peaceful, and disdainful of traitors. So, I see, he is a loyal hound. He is his master's best friend, faithful companion, or, in more derogatory language, he's a lapdog. On the other hand, though, werewolf themes are usually deployed in service of some kind of a split inside of a character. A split between one side which is wild and bestial, mad, dangerous, destructive, and a side which is reasoning, principled, restrained, merciful, civilized, human. And so I wonder if perhaps the loyal, sweet, and pleasant side of Blaidd we've seen so far is the man part of the man-wolf, and somewhere in there is a different beast just waiting to be unleashed. The usual way that a trope like that plays out is that in the dramatic and crucial moment, the seemingly perfectly loyal bodyguard suddenly turns on his master and reveals that he was working for the enemy all along. But if we're playing with werewolf tropes, maybe it's more a thing of control. Blythe is keeping his inner beast on a tight leash, but then something happens that angers or frightens him so badly that the beast takes over and he starts raging and maybe turns into a monster or something. Certainly, Souls games have played before with these themes of a seemingly perfectly sanguine and balanced person who is driven to rage and madness by the brutality of circumstance. His cloak, as a design piece, also does support the idea of wildness and passion as a part of his character, at least a little bit. It is made from long and rough animal fur, and he does wield a giant greatsword, which is the kind of weapon that is often used by wild, unthinking savages who prefer violence over cognition. But anyway, while I can't really make any conclusions or predictions about exactly where Blythe's story is going, I don't think the split between two natures that's evident in his character design is an accident, because, well, let's talk about Ranni. Because Ranni is two-faced, literally and very obviously. She's a spirit possessing a doll, and her true ghostly face appears hovering offset to the side such that her left eye overlaps with the doll's right eye. Now, to be two-faced or to have multiple faces is often coded for dishonesty, deception, lies, hypocrisy, all of that stuff, but not always. The Roman god Janus, for example, was a god of beginnings and endings, a god of doorways, whose two faces could watch both sides of the door at once, and he was associated with things like the beginning and ending of conflicts, war and peace, and times of great change and transition. And in Hindu mythology, Brahma is the supreme creator god who's usually depicted with multiple faces. So, having multiple faces as a piece of character design can mean multiple things depending on context, but certainly my immediate reaction to her is to say, oh, she's definitely lying about something. Not necessarily in the sense that she's evil, but I definitely don't trust her at her word. There are things she's definitely not telling me, and I am willing to bet that there are things she's also not telling her other servants. And there are other things in Ranni's design that support the reading of her as someone who is a little bit fake about her image. For example, she wears on her small doll body very oversized clothes, bulky, long robes that are too long for her actual legs, a large furry cloak, and an enormous witch's hat. And all of this increases her size. It makes her seem larger, more imposing, and certainly more powerful. I note that her furry cloak, by the way, looks a lot like Blythe's, which I wonder if that signifies some kind of deeper affinity between the two of them. And then, of course, there's the box. Or, well, I think she's sitting on a pile of books inside of her tower there, which, aw, that's adorable. But also, again, it's all about making her seem bigger, seem taller. It's all about projecting an image. And as visual design, that kind of behavior indicates, again, either dishonesty and duplicitousness, or weakness. It might be that Ranni is so determined to appear stronger than she really is, because in reality she's quite weak, and perhaps quite vulnerable. And speaking of that, her doll body is kind of f***ed up, actually. Her face is beautiful and her hands are immaculate, but her wrists are various stages of ragged. There are deep cracks and breaks running up her neck from her chest, and if we zoom in on her feet, steady, and take a really close look at them, steady, we can see that her body seems, under the blue shell of her porcelain skin, to be composed of rather rough and fibrous material. It almost looks like coiled rope, perhaps bound tight over a doll's armature. The point is, Ranni's body is messed up. It's either unfinished or badly damaged, and part of the point of her big eye-catching and imposing outfit is to cover up that fact. At least, I think so. She is someone who hides the true nature of who she is and what she's capable of behind a facade or a front. Which, in turn, brings us back to Blythe, but also to Iji and Celavis. Because, like I said, I think there's a theme here. Ranni is two-faced, literally, and hides the true nature of her body beneath layers of fashion and staging. Iji is two-faced metaphorically, in that he wears a helmet of mirrors which, if you try to look at his face, you will see a reflection of your face instead. Blythe is two-faced in that his face is a mixing of two faces, a wolf and a human, and Celavis is two-faced metaphorically in that he literally wears another face on top of his real face and hides his true intentions behind manipulation and lies. So there's a through line here of characters having more than one face and concealing their true natures. Now, plenty of characters in Elden Ring wear masks and helmets. That's nothing unusual. And plenty of characters in Elden Ring are liars or might wear disguises or be hybrids of multiple beings. That is not specific to Ranni and her crew. but it's the context that all of them have this recurring thing of multiple faces, and all of them express that thing differently. Only one of them wears a mask, only one of them is a hybrid creature, but all of them have that same idea of being two-faced or having dual natures, and that makes me feel like this has to be some kind of a theme. What exactly that theme is being deployed in service of, well, I don't know, at least not yet, but I'm gonna be keeping an eye on it. And I'm especially curious about how all of this relates to the theme that we've been talking about the most, which is death and how we deal with it. Ranni said that she stole death, and in the next episode we're gonna learn more about that. But the question then is, what does she mean to do with it? Ranni the ghost, Ranni the two-faced, Ranni the poltergeist haunting the world through a puppet. What even is death to a creature such as her? A fact of life, a cause for grieving, a philosophically necessary process? Or, perhaps, just another means to power? Okay, well, that is another episode of the Boss Designs of Elden Ring. My life got taken over by Arcane there for a couple of months, and yes, I will do some videos about Arcane Season 2 eventually, I just need a little longer to think about it, but I wanted to get back to Elden Ring before I did any of that, because I really don't want to lose momentum on that again. Anyway, would you believe that this episode at one point was under an hour long? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? It's incredible what happens once I start writing the analysis. I really didn't think I would spend more than like a minute on Garrus, but you start looking closer and then all of a sudden there's all these things to talk about. And speaking of Garrus, merchandise. So originally, because I thought the Garrus segment was going to be so short, I edited in this whole segment that was like a joke, like, wow, Garrus's fashion looks rough. Maybe he should visit crowdmate.com/collections. That's like a joke segment where I was like just talking about how he would look better wearing one of my hoodies. But then I actually had things to say about Garrus, and then the ad just became really annoying, and so I cut it, and now I'm doing it here instead. But yes, merch. I have hoodies, I have t-shirts, I have pins, I have mugs, and they're pretty good mugs too. Big, lots of coffee in them, or other things. I don't know what you drink, and I don't judge. I am working on commissioning some specific Boss Designs things for merch on the merch store, but for now, there is Dr. Gidgood, the old death counter pop-up from the very first series. Also, the hoodies are soft and warm and nice. I know, because I'm wearing one right now. I ordered one for myself, and this one has that phrase I say at the end of all the videos on it. You can wear that upon your flesh if you want, or buttons with my face on it, or socks with my face on it. Please don't tell me what you're going to do with those, and other things. So go look and maybe buy some of it if you want to. I would appreciate the support. And if you're a Patreon supporter of any kind, you get a discount on the merch as well. Check the Patreon for that. I will say, though, I am financially fine for the moment. I mean, commissioning stuff for the merch is kind of expensive, but my bills are paid, my income is stable, so if you have any spare money lying around and you don't really want a hoodie or whatever, instead, maybe consider donating to Doctors Without Borders or the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. Your money will do a lot more good in their hands than it will in mine. Now, I haven't 100% run out of footage for Elden Ring episodes yet. There's a chunk left that I'm currently weighing whether or not I want that to be its own episode. It might have to be, or maybe not, I don't know. But either way, it's about time that I start recording new footage. So, one of these weekends, I'm not entirely sure which one, it could be after Christmas for all I know, things are chaotic, but one of these weekends, we're gonna stream Elden Ring again, finally, for the first time in 2 years, and we will record some more footage. So come along for that. They are very fun streams, and I enjoy having the audience along for the ride. But that is all for this particular episode, which means it's time for me to say thank you for your time and your attention. Remember to be kind to one another, have solidarity with those who struggle, and may the tides of history wash gently over us all.